Hello ladies and gents, in this video we will add some user interaction to our application. So the first thing we would like to do is when we press this, instead of displaying a message here, we want to add a new item to our list here, and the text of the product will come from our input field. Now for that we are going to use our already existing event handler for our buttons press event. This one right here on press create new product. And since we are going to need to access our input and also our list, we have to assign them IDs. First, let me break this into multiple lines. Okay, it looks better. And let's give an ID to our input. And let's say ID product name. And let's also give it an ID to our list. And for this one, let's say ID product list. Now I will copy the ID of our input first. And in our event handler, I will remove our existing code. And since we don't need the message toast dependency, let's remove that as well. So the first thing we need to do is get the product name from the input. And how we can do that is we say const as product name, we declare a variable, and we say this, which points to our controller, and we have a method on it, which is getView, which returns, you guessed it, our view. And our view instance have another method named byId, and we simply pass in the ID of our input. So we have our input control now, and the input control has a method named getValue. So now we have the value, and next thing we need to do is add a new item to the list. And for that, first we need to access our list, of course. So we again say this dot getView and then by ID. Now let's copy the ID of our list. And our list control has a method called addItem. And here we are going to add another control, which is a standard list item. Right here as a new item to our list. So let's first add it to our dependency list. It comes from, as you know, SAP standard list item, and let's also add it to our callback function. And we simply add a new standard list item. Since we are using JavaScript, we need to use the new keyword to invoke the constructor. And the standard list item has a property named title, as you already know. And we provide the title as product name, so I'll just copy it over. Simple. Now let's check if it works. Product name, let's say MacBook Air. Press on create new product, and we can see it here. That's another one, OLED TV 65 inches. And here it is, quite simple. And now since we can add items, let's see how we can remove items from our list. We go back to our view, and one property we have on our list is something named mode. Let me add it here to the last, and this is none by default, this one. And if we set it to delete and save with no other changes, we can see a cancel button or a delete button, if you will, for every item in our list. And with that we get an event as well, which is named simply delete. So for this delete event, we create a new event handler. Let's call it onPressDelete, and let's implement it in our controller. After our event handler for the button, we say onPressDelete. Now here we have an issue because we can have access to our list, but we actually need to know from which item we click this delete button. And for that, we are going to use an event object. Let's name it OEvent. And every event handler has this object for SAP UI5. And they have parameters on them that we can use, and they are of course different for each event. So let's check what we get as an event parameter for our list control. Let's check our API reference, and if we search for m.list, we go to events, and there is no delete here because it's borrowed from this list-based superclass. It's right here, so we click on it, and you can see the control event, and under get parameters we see that we have a parameter named list item. So I will copy the name of this parameter, go back to our code, and I will say const OItem equals OEvent dot get parameter, and I will simply paste in the name of the parameter, which is list item. Since now we have our item, we can just remove it from the list. Remove the item from the list. And we, again, let's copy this actually from here. Now we have our list, and it has another method named removeItem, and we can simply pass in our item here, and we are good to go. Let's try. Let's first add another one, OLED TV 55 inches, and let's delete it now. Let's delete an existing one, even everything, and now we can see our no data text here that we specified in a previous video, which is right here, no data text. Like I said, by default this is called just no data. We can check it quickly, but it's nice to have something more descriptive here. Now that's it for this video, and hope to see you in the next one.